You guys, these are all the books that I've read. But they just felt more brother and sister. I don't know, I'm kind of scared. So annoyed with myself, that was really, really dumb. I've been working on my small business stuff, which it's just not been my month. I felt like this did a really good job of that. You may think you know, but you really have no idea. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a September reset. How are we already almost to September? Like, it is August 28th right now, and I feel like I just filmed my August reset. So I'm not sure how that happened. So today I'm going to be taking you guys along as I go through my goals for August, which, spoiler alert, it was rough in the goals department for August. If you've been watching my vlogs, you know I've been struggling with some health things like hives for no reason and being on a bunch of medicine that made me just sleepy, and it's just not been my month, but that's okay. We are rolling with it. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna get back on track, but it was just kind of like a little, you know, bump in the road and whatever. I feel like this is crooked. Anyway, so the plus side though, I did get a lot of reading done, so I'm gonna be able to share what I read in the month of August, what I'm planning on reading in the month of September, sharing kind of my book haul with you guys, and all the other things. So let's just jump right into it. I need to clean off my desk because it is kind of a mess. I have been working on my small business stuff, which I'm gonna kind of share on here, but I'm reserving like all of that for another channel because I don't want this channel to be a small business channel because I already have one for my small business that I'd had for a long time. So it's all just gonna be there, and I will share bits and pieces on here because it's still part of my life, but I want this channel to just be like my life and the things I'm interested in and not my business, you know? I'm still interested in my business. I still like my business. I just don't want it to be all about that. So I feel like small business channels, when you kind of start doing that, that's like all it is. So I don't want that to be this channel. So anyway, but I will share with you guys, I've made some stickers. So here's a sticker. It's got the laminate on top and it's also a vinyl sticker. And then I also made these bookmarks. I'm waiting on the magnets to show up in the mail, but you're gonna have, like, it'd be a magnet and you could just like go over the page. So cute. And then I also have made a tote bag. Like, how cute is that? So those are just some of the things that I'm releasing when my shop relaunches. September 16th, I will have that information for you guys where you can check out all the stuff if you're interested. It's a lot of like book stuff right now, like Halloween themed bookish items, but I am very excited. I'm gonna have mugs, and then I have a sweatshirt or a couple sweatshirts coming today that I'm going to put some of these designs on, so I'm really excited about that. So anyway, that's enough small business talk. Other than when I share my goals, I can share with you guys what I actually accomplished this month. So let's just hop on over to the computer and start that process, and then we'll get into the books that I've read or that I'm going to read in September. Actually, first let me clean off the desk because I need to be able to focus. I just filmed this, and like a big dummy, I shut my computer screen before I ended the screen recording, and then I lost it. So we are starting over. I'm so annoyed with myself. That was really, really dumb. But anyway, we're gonna get into it, and I thankfully did not delete my August goals. So we're going to talk about them real quick. So in August, I did not go to the gym 3 times a week because I was dealing with hives and was trying to not make things worse for myself. So I have gotten back into the gym since being on medicine and getting rid of the hives, and fingers crossed when I come off my medicine next week, I won't have any hives. But for the month of August, I did not hit that goal of 3 times a week because there were 2 weeks that I was, struggling and not really able to go do a lot of working out for fear that it would aggravate my hives. I did feel like I cleaned up my diet as well as I could have during all of this. So I'm proud of that. I did not drink a gallon of water every day because for 2 weeks there was like several days where I was just sleeping a lot because I was on so much medicine. But hopefully we can get back to drinking enough water. Social media was not good this month because I wasn't posting as much because obviously I was covered in hives. So no one wants to show up on social media covered in hives. But also, again, my medicine was just making me exhausted. So I really did not accomplish much in the social media department. And therefore, I didn't hit any of these goals. I'm not far from them, but I really barely posted. I think on YouTube, I think I've only posted 3 or 4 videos this month, which is not like me. So it is what it is. We're moving forward. I'm not going to dwell on it. August was just, there was a bump in the road and have to take a step back and prioritize my health. And it is what it is. Hopefully next month we can hit those goals. Moving on to personal, I did read 5 books. I'm going to talk about them after this. I did not finish my UGC course, didn't even open it. And I did organize my closet, which was huge. So that was good. As far as career goes, with my small business, I did come up with my business plan. I did rebrand and I did research the products that I needed to. Quarterly goals, I have not gotten monetized on YouTube. So we'll see if that happens in quarter 4, just moving along. It's fine. So moving on to September goals, which I've already typed out here because I already filmed this. So it is what it is. But my health goal is to work out 3 times a week. I didn't say go to the gym because I'm going to be gone the first week of September, so I won't be able to go to my gym, but I can still take walks and whatever. So my goal is to work out 3 times a week. And then when I get home, obviously go to my gym to work out. I still want to continue to work on cleaning up my diet because there's still room for improvement there. And I just put that I want to drink more water. I don't want to put has to be a gallon a day, just I want to drink more water. Social media, I kept all the same goals because obviously I didn't hit any of them, so want to do that and hopefully that will happen in the month of September. For personal, I want to up it to 6 books. I do want to work on my UGC course. That is something that I do want to do in the future. And then I also have, so we have a 3-bedroom house and we have 2 spare bedrooms that we use. James has, it's kind of like his at-home office and where he keeps all of his stuff, and then I have a back room where I keep a lot of my stuff, but I would like to clean that up, organize it, declutter a bunch of stuff. And I kind of want to set up a guest bed in there because we have an extra mattress, so I want to do that just in case we have people come visit or whatever, which we really don't, so it probably is unnecessary. But since we have the extra mattress, I was like, well, why not? And kind of set that up as to be a guest bedroom / filming area for me. So that is the goal for September, is to get that room decluttered and cleaned out. As far as career, I'm relaunching my shop September 16th, which I'm really excited about, so that is the goal. I want to purchase more wholesale items so I can support other small businesses within my small business. And then I also want to create the October items for an October launch. So my goal is to have different themed launches, and I want to create October so that way it's ready to launch in October, obviously. So yeah, and then the quarterly goal is start making money again. So hopefully between reopening my business and hopefully getting monetized on YouTube soon, I'm still just some watch time hours down. So I really appreciate if you guys watch the videos like all the way through or as much as you can. It does help me and I really do appreciate that. Obviously I don't do YouTube to make money, but it would be nice to have a little bit money coming in from that just because it is work. I know people hate when people talk about that, but I mean, it takes time to film and edit and all of that. So it is work. And it, you know, it's just nice to have a little bit more money coming in from that if, you know, if they pay you for that, which they do if you get monetized. So anyway, that is a goal, but that's not why I do these videos, but I am close to that. So it would be nice for that to happen. Anyway, so those are my September goals. I'm going to stop the screen recording before I lose the video again. There we go. Now we're going to switch over and talk about books because that is what I'm so excited about. I set up my tripod because I was all ready for this part of the video when I realized that I didn't stop the screen recording and I lost it. So let's talk about books now because that's really what I'm excited about. You guys, these are all the books that I've read in the month of August. So let's talk about them. So this one I'm actually currently reading, but my goal, I think there's 3 days left of August at this point. My goal is to finish this by the end of the month. I just started it yesterday. I'm only 20 pages in, but it is the book club book for September. So I do need to finish it before book club happens in September, but I'd like to finish it in the next couple days so I can just check it off and I can move on because while I think it's gonna be good, I also am just missing fiction. Like I just wanna read fiction. So that's that, but I haven't finished this one yet, but I'm planning on finishing it. So we're gonna count that as I finished it in August. I read The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. This one for me felt pretty slow and I liked it, but I also, I don't know what it was about this. Maybe it was just, I didn't feel like I really believed the love story in it until like maybe the last, I don't know, 30 pages or so. So I just felt like it was very much a, I don't want to say enemies to lovers sort of story, but it was not getting along in the beginning and then to lovers. It was, I don't know. I just had a hard time with the love story in this. I also read Funny Story by Emily Henry. This one was so good. So the only other Emily Henry book that I've read is Beach Read, and I feel like everybody is all about Beach Read, and a lot of people had mixed feelings about this, but for me personally, I thought this one was so much better than Beach Read. Like I loved this book. I loved the characters. I loved their story, all of it. This is just, it made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. I loved this book. This is a book that I'm like, I wish I could erase from my brain so I could reread it and not know what's gonna happen and like experience it for the first time again. So good. So let me know if you have checked out this book, what your thoughts are. Again, this is only my second Emily Henry book, so I may find one that I like more than this, but this one was so good. And I just think the book itself just looks cute. So that always helps. But this one, so good. I gave that one 5 stars and I gave Rom-Commers 4 stars, if that helps you figure that out. I feel like I give pretty high ratings, but to me, I'm just like, if I enjoyed a book, I enjoyed the book and I don't need to get all like deep dive into it. I mean, there are some books that I will give lower stars, you know, such as like if it's unnecessary language or spice or whatever, you guys know, or just the storyline was stupid. But for the most part, if I just overall enjoyed the book, I'm gonna give it 4 or 5 stars. Next up was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is not the order I read all these books in, just so you know, it's just the order that I'm grabbing from the pile. But this one was my only thriller that I read this month and I loved it. I think I read this in like 2 or 3 days. I ordered another Riley Sager book because I was like, this is really good. It did have a weird paranormal twist to it, which I was not expecting. So I did give it 4 stars because I was like, well, that was kind of weird. It wasn't like horrible, but I also was just kind of like, what is happening right now? So I did give this book 4 stars, but I actually really did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. If you like mystery thriller type of books, this one was really good. And I loved that it just goes, you feel like you're in the story because of the way like the scenery is described, and it just really does a good job with describing everything, where I feel like a lot of thriller books that I've read, they kind of just get to the point of the book, which is great. Sometimes you need that, but sometimes it's nice to have like the scenery, like you felt like you were on the lake, you know? And I liked that. So 4 stars. This one was really good. It took me a minute to get into because the writing style is different, but once I got into it, it was good. Next up, we have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This book was so cute. I read this after Funny Story and I was just like, there's no way that this is gonna be anything for me. After reading Funny Story, I was just like, nothing else can compare. And granted, I think Funny Story was my favorite, but this one was so good. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so, so much. I loved the 2 main characters and their story. I also love how this author tackles hard situations and hard topics, but still keeping it somewhat lighthearted and just fun to read, but also bringing light to topics that are difficult that people really do go through. This one was so good. Like another one that I'm like, why can't I erase this from my brain and reread it so I don't know what's gonna happen and like do it all for the first time, you know? Next up was Yours Truly. Now these are, it's a series, but it's not, like you can read them as standalones. I recommend reading them in the order that they were released because like this one has characters from the first one and whatever. And so it's just, it helps you kind of know what's going on a little bit better, but you don't have to read those to know what's going on, if that makes sense. This one for me was another 5 star. I loved this one. The topic in this book that she decided to tackle was anxiety. And I have anxiety, I have OCD, so it was so nice to read this. And obviously she doesn't go completely in depth because anxiety, there's so many different layers and everybody experiences it differently. But what I loved about this is if somebody has never experienced anxiety, but you like know somebody who has anxiety and you're just like, why do they do the things that they do? Or why are they acting this way? Or what's wrong with them? I feel like you can read this, like you could literally hand this to somebody and be like, here, read this. And it gives you kind of a glimpse into the things that go on in my head or why I do certain things, you know, why I react the way that I do to certain things. I felt like this did a really good job of that. And it told it from the perspective of a guy. And I feel like, you know, our society kind of puts it on like guys can't have anxiety because that's like a weakness, but guys still struggle with anxiety as well. And I just thought it was so nice to see that in a book, you know, to see like, hey, like guys can have this too, guys have this struggle too, and like it's okay. Anyway, I could go on and on, but I really loved that about this book. Just the fact that it tackles the anxiety topic and it does it in such a way where it doesn't, you know, go into the whole, like anxiety is such a whole big thing, but it does give you a glimpse if you don't understand or you have somebody that has anxiety but you don't understand what they're going through. It kind of just gives you a little bit of a window into what they're going through, and I appreciated that. As somebody who has anxiety and has people in their life who don't get it, who don't understand, I would never want them to experience it, but it's nice that I can be like, here, read this book, and that kind of gives you just a small glimpse into my brain. So 5 stars. Okay, and the last book that I have to share with you guys for this month was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It's the 3rd in the series, and it does have characters from both of the other books, and this one ties in a lot with the first one. So you don't have to read the first one to read this one, but I do recommend it because it's gonna make a lot more sense what's going on in this book. This one tackled topics of like neglect, parent abuse, neglect, and then like PTSD. And I appreciate that she tries to tackle those topics within a book. I personally did not love this one as much because I felt like the main characters, their love story felt more brother and sister to me than it did like soulmates. And it just kind of, I wasn't feeling it. Now that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people have read this book and love the love story and love the characters. For me personally though, it just honestly felt like it was a brother-sister relationship and not romantic. Like it was romantic, but like, it just felt more brother and sister. It was just like, please stop. Like you guys should just be friends and be like a brother-sister friendship kind of thing. Again, that is just my opinion, so don't take that for like, oh, I can't read this book or that's for sure what's going on. That's just how I interpreted the book, but we all interpret things differently, so, you know. For me though, it was still a good book, but it was just, long for the sake of being long. I felt like the way they tried to tie in the first book was very rushed, when that could have been more of the meat of this book, to be honest, because there's a pretty big tie-in, and it was just kind of rushed through, and I didn't love that. I wish that had been more of the story, but it was still good. Would I reread it again? Probably, but it just wasn't my favorite. I did give it 4 stars though, so it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't my favorite. So those are all the books that I read in the month of August. Now let's get into the books I'm planning on reading for the month of September. All right, guys. I have this big pile of books. I don't know if I'm going to read all of these in September, but these are the ones that I have recently purchased. They're on my to be read list, and I would like to pretty much read through all of them in September. The first one is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I was just like, gotta try more Emily Henry, and I feel like this is the book everybody talks about when they talk about Emily Henry. I feel like most people really like this book, so I'm excited to try it out, see what I think, but I'm planning on reading this in the month of September. Next up is The Guest List by Lucy, is it Foley, I think? This one's like a good mystery thriller. It's like a wedding on a remote island, somebody gets murdered. I think it's gonna be a really good book, and I'm excited to read it. I've never read one of her books before, so hopefully this is good. But I just have been hearing so much about this, and the plot just sounds so good that I was like, yes, I need to read this book. Next up, we have The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden. I believe this was a re-release, and so it's just come back into stores, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I gotta pick it up, gotta read it, but I'm pretty sure this was released several years ago, and she just re-released it recently. But I love Frida McFadden books. I've read lots of her books, and it's just a quick, easy read for me. So I do want to get through this one in the month of September, because I know it's just gonna be like a 1 or 2 day read, and then I can, whatever, move on from it. I don't know. But I do want to read this one while I wait for her to release her next one. As I said, I picked up another Riley Sager book, and this is the one that I hear everybody talk about. It's the only one left. I've heard that this one is really good, so I'm excited to read it and find out what happens. And it's like another mystery thriller type of thing, which is like my favorite type of book to read. I feel like I fly through these books, whereas like the romance ones, it takes me a little bit longer. But the mystery thriller ones, I can read these in like a day or 2. Next up is one that I would never have picked out for myself, but it is the book club book for October. And I want to be part of the book club, and I want to like be like, yeah, I read the book, that's part of having a book club. So I was like, I gotta do it. It's The Shining by Stephen King. I've never read any Stephen King book before. I've never seen The Shining movie. I have no idea what this is about. It's also like 1,000,000 pages long. It's over 600 pages. What? Wow. This is going to be a long one. So this is also my first Stephen King novel, so we will see what I think of it. I would like to read it in the month of September, but I could also read it partly in October, so it's like not high on my list right now, but as we get towards October, obviously I need to read this, so that way I'm prepared for book club. But that's why I bought it, just for book club. So I don't know, maybe I'll be a Stephen King fan after this. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I also picked up Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Again, I just, want to read all of her books. I think that they're really cute, like lighthearted, fun romance books. So that's kind of nice, because I do read a lot of mystery thriller, kind of creepy books, which I like, but sometimes it's nice to take a break and read something that's a little bit more lighthearted and, just like lovey-dovey. So I have heard good things about this book as well, so I picked that up to read. And the last book that I picked up to read in the month of September, again, this is like, I don't know that I'll read all of these in September. It's kind of a, little ambitious, I guess. The last book that I picked up to read in the month of September is People We Meet on Vacation, also by Emily Henry. I think I have all of her books now, I think. I've heard very mixed things about this, so I am interested to see what happens and if I like it and my thoughts on it. I just thought it'd be a fun, nice, lighthearted book to read, so I picked it up to hopefully read in September. So those are all the books that I'm planning on reading in the month of September. It's a lot. I don't think that I'll actually read all of them, but, I do want to read most of them. them and try to read all of them, so we will see what happens. But yeah, those are the books that I picked up. That's what I'm planning on reading. And when we do our September reset, I will let you guys know what I actually checked off of that list. So stay tuned for that. Hey guys, it is the next day. So I got busy yesterday filming a bunch of shorts for this channel and just doing other things. And then I never actually cleaned. So I'm gonna try to do a quick like tidy of my house this morning and kind of wrap up this September reset, because I do have a lot of other things that I need to do today. So I don't want to do a full-on clean of the house because that's tomorrow and I'm filming that. But yeah, we're just gonna tidy and kind of do like almost like a morning reset, if you will, on the house, and then I can close out this video. So I have tidied most of my house. I haven't tidied my office, but I'm getting ready to go do a bunch of stuff in there anyway, so I'll just clean it up whenever I'm done with that. But I think I'm gonna wrap up the September reset here. So those are all of my goals, things I'd like to accomplish, what went well in August, what didn't, the books I've read. I'm about halfway through the book club book, the Surviving Hollywood and Scientology book. I'm about halfway through this. It's so interesting and it really makes you think like you just truly have no idea what's going on in somebody's life. And like you may think you know, but you really have no idea. And so it's really interesting. I am enjoying it, but I want like mystery thriller fiction, you know? I don't want to read about somebody's life right now. I want like a thriller, but we will get to those. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.